Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm Shayla King, a former C-suite executive turned business and life coach. And this is the podcast for leaders who want it all. The promotions, the paychecks, and luxurious amounts of time for the things that matter most. Each week, I'm going to teach you from my performance and happiness formula what it takes to rise to the top without burnout and overwhelm. Work less, make more, and design a life you love. That's what we do in the 5% Club. Let's go. Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm Shayla King, your favorite executive coach, and today's episode is Tinder for me. You see, it's been 3 years since the day my entire life turned upside down. A lot of you already know the story, but many of you don't. So let me bring you into it for a moment. It was supposed to be a normal day, a routine wellness appointment, nothing dramatic, nothing scary. I was supposed to swing by the school after, pick up our kids, and head to the airport. We had a family trip to Chicago planned. Bags were packed, kids were excited. Life was just doing its normal, usual thing. But instead of heading to the airport, my family got a call, and they were taken to a hospital to find me in a coma on life support, fighting for my life. One routine appointment, one normal day, everything changed. And that's what hits me every year when this anniversary comes around. We never know what could happen tomorrow. To us, to someone we love, we just don't know. And when you come that close to losing everything, life gets really clear, real fast. You don't think about emails or deadlines or whether someone liked your idea in a meeting. You think about your kids, your partner, the dreams you haven't lived yet, and the version of you you've been too scared to become. So today, I want to give you the clarity I got without you ever needing to go through something like that. All right, let me give you a quick list of all of the things that we all stress over that simply don't deserve a single drop of attention in your life. Not the tone of someone's email, not whether a coworker misunderstood you, not being behind on laundry, not whether somebody thinks you're ambitious, and that's a bad thing, or they think so, not whether you're invited to the meeting, or the party, or the event, not the comment your boss made in passing or your friend made to her other friend. Not whether someone at work likes you, not what your neighbor thinks. Not the 5 pounds you've gained. Not whether your big goal makes you look cringe. Not any of it. You get one life. One. And most people live it small because they're scared. They're scared to be seen. They're scared to be judged. They're scared to fail and to feel that feeling of failure. They're scared to be embarrassed. They're scared to want something bigger because it might not happen. And we get so scared, and when we stop and think about why, it's because we think we can't handle the feeling of failure, of embarrassment, of shame, of guilt, of any negative thought that could happen. And then, how would that actually make us feel? And we get so worried that we're not available to feel those bad, terrible, no good things that we just avoid the action. We avoid going after the dream. We instead decide to opt ourselves out of the potential beauty, of the potential greatness, of the potential glory, because we might have to feel let down. So we just go ahead and let ourselves be let down ahead of time. We put ourselves in that place of negativity, in the it's not going to work out, in the I can't do it, in the I'm a failure, in the it's never going to work, before we even try. So we're making ourselves have the emotion because we're afraid to go after it because we'd have to feel that emotion. Isn't that wild? It's how our crazy brain tries to protect ourselves. And it's just good to remember that there are things you can control and there are things you can't. And spending your one precious life micromanaging the stuff you can't control, it's how dreams die. And that's the part that still hits me every year. I almost didn't get the chance to clean up my thinking. I almost didn't get the chance to live this life the way I live it now. Big, joyful, bold, fun, and fully mine. Not worrying if I'm following someone else's playbook and if they will approve of my choices, but instead truly living this life that I want to have. And it's the small things. Sometimes it's, should I wear this to the party? Well, how do you feel in it? If you feel amazing, of course you could. Nobody gives a shit what anybody else thinks. There's so many tiny ways we keep ourselves small in our daily life, or we keep ourselves from having these bits of joy all of the time. So I'm not saying this today just to say, go after that big dream, which you should, my friend. But I'm also saying it to say, stop caring what Claire thinks. What do you want out of this one life? Because when it's your last day, you won't even remember these people that you worried so much about their approval and their thought process. So I want you now to have this freedom. So let me offer you this permission slip. It's a reset button. You are allowed to stop caring about the stuff that doesn't matter. You are allowed to want a bigger life, to not care if they brought you the wrong order at the restaurant. You are allowed to stop sweating the pee-pee shit. You're allowed to bet on yourself, to chase dreams that look impossible. You're allowed to show up before you feel ready, to do the thing that people call cringe, because you want to try it, to figure out who you are, to blow your own damn mind with what's possible in this one life. My friends, you're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to reinvent yourself at any age. And you're allowed to live a life that is so beautiful and makes people do a double take. I didn't survive to play small. And you weren't put here to play small either. You deserve to be here. And I want you to show up fully. One of the sayings that I've been telling my clients and my daughters for a decade is show up, don't shrink. You have every right to be here. So if you've been waiting for a sign, a moment, a push, this is it. Go after all of it. 5%ers make their dreams happen by knowing and declaring what they want and going after it without worrying if other people like the dream, like the approach, agree with the desire, agree with the path. They go after all of it. And I want you to go after the career you want, the money you want, the relationship you want, the joy that you want, and those memories you want. The version of you you've been imagining quietly for years. Life is fragile, but it's also generous when you decide to actually live it. Now, before I let you go today, I want to invite you into something that came straight out of this experience. Every year, we make plans, budgets, work goals, weight goals, project strategies. We plan everything for our jobs and almost nothing for our lives. There's never a scheduled moment for fun. There is almost never a meeting for joy. There's never a planning session to map out memories you want to make. And yet those are the things that you'll really care about most when life gets real and hard, when life is almost over. The Epic Life Retreat is different. It's your one day to actually plan the life side of your life. The adventure side, the memory side, and the luxurious amount of time with your family side. The version of you who doesn't rush their whole year away. We spend one day designing your life strategy. Your epic adventures, your traditions, your family moments, your bucket list, and the energy that you want to feel in 2026. Y'all, it's powerful, it's emotional, it's fun. And you will have a better year because you came. Bring your spouse, bring your best friend, bring the person who always tell you they want to live bigger. And this week, we're offering you a special buy one, get one, because designing your life together makes your whole life richer. You deserve a life you're actually excited to wake up to. Let's build it together. And with the new year here, this is the perfect moment to draw a line in the sand. Happy New Year. Let this be the year you stop playing small and start living on purpose. And I'll see you next year when we kick off season 2 of the 5% Club with your invite to join the 5% Club movement. Head over to ShaylaKing.com, ShaylaKing.com for all of the event information for Epic 2026. We are hosting it on January 18th, one day to plan the best year of your life. Let's go. I'll see you there. Happy New Year, friends. Your 2025 looked successful on paper, but it didn't feel great, did it? You hit the goals, you got the results, people around you think you're thriving. But inside, it felt more draining than fulfilling, like you were running on fumes while everyone else applauded. And here's the truth that no one talks about. Hitting goals does not automatically create joy. Achievement does not guarantee alignment, and high performers learn that the hard way. I know this world. I was a C-suite executive, and now I coach leaders who are winning publicly and secretly exhausted. And it's not because they're doing anything wrong. It's because they build success that looks good but does not feel good. They're focused on achievement instead of alignment, and eventually it catches up. So if your life looks better than it feels, you're not alone. This is the moment to decide that 2026 is going to be different. You do not need another vision board thinking that having it in the background is going to magically do it. You need a plan that makes your vision board come true. A year designed with intention. A year that is fulfilling and energizing and meaningful. A year that feels as good as it looks on paper. And that's exactly why I created Epic 2026. It's a one-day virtual retreat where we design your entire year together. And you guys know, for projects at work, for our strategy at work, we plan these things out, but we never plan in our joy. So at this one-day virtual retreat, we're going to design your entire year together, including your epic moments, your memories, your adventures, your version of a life that feels incredible to live. This is where 2026 actually begins, right now, with a decision to build something better. And with the Black Friday sale, it's the perfect time to invest in yourself. One more gadget isn't going to make you feel better next year. Creating a life you want to live will. Epic 2026 is 50% off this week only. If you want next year to feel wildly successful and deeply fulfilling, this is your move. Do not get to December 2026 feeling the way you do right now. Design the year you actually want. Grab the link below. Let's go. Thanks for joining me in the 5% Club today. If you're ready to make more, work less, and design a life you love, then go to ShaylaKing.com and join the waitlist. You'll be the first to know when there's openings to work with me in one-on-one coaching or the Performance and Happiness Lab, my group container where you will learn to be a high-performing, highly paid executive who loves your whole life. I'll see you there.